What's up, George?
Morning or good afternoon.
You see Sabelli on there, George?
Okay, no. 4 participants. There she is.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
You're muted, George.
Where's your cat? See? I'm a stalker. I was checking your videos. I see. I'm a dog person. I rescue dogs. But last two months ago, I rescued 2 cats, and they were in my house for like a month and a half. They were little babies born outside of my office. And I got so attached to those little cats. I cried the day that they took the cats. They went to a beautiful home, nice people, but I cried. I was so attached to my little cats.
Christy, are you gonna need the to share your screen with the PowerPoint?
Yes, if you
Okay,
can make me
perfect.
co-host, that would be fantastic.
You know,
So the way we run the meetings is we'll go ahead and go over ground rules. Sabelli's gonna go ahead and introduce you. And then any question that comes in, we ask them to type it in the chat. So Sabelli will go ahead and monitor the chat and just ask questions as they come in. Okay. And then obviously at the end, if there are any additional questions, we also ask them to enter them into the chat. Sometimes some of the participants go ahead and unmute themselves and not listen to the rules, but you know,
We'll
just look
take it
out
as it goes. Yeah.
Christy, can you take control of the screen, because I don't know how to make you a host. My assistant is not here, and I'm pretty dumb.
Okay, I have the share screen access. I can show you. Look, we can do it right now, just to give you an idea. I will show you the PowerPoint.
And Christy, is there an opportunity to possibly share? I know I have someone who helps educate at the board on the greater Los Angeles side asking about the possible slides.
Okay, I'm gonna meet everybody. Okay, it's 1 o'clock. I don't want people thinking that we're not gonna start.
Type it.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Thank you for being on this Title Tuesday. We have a great speaker today. So we're gonna start at 1:05, like every Title Tuesday. We're gonna give 5 minutes to the people that they're late, but that's okay. That's okay. So
hello.
Sonia, how are you? We're gonna start in 5 minutes. I mean, 4 minutes now. 4 minutes.
Sounds good.
There's gonna be Christy from CAR is gonna do her presentation. Then we're gonna show the new title profile. Dashboard is completely new. They changed it 100%. There's some people that are having a hard time because when you access, it looks completely different. Then at the end, of course, Javier Munoz is gonna give us an update on the termite company, what's going on with the termite world. So we have 3 minutes to start. Normita,
How are
in
you guys
Cancun?
doing?
I think Norma is in Cancun, right?
She didn't invite us?
Just go like this or go like this. This means no, this goes, no, Cancun, I saw a post that you're in Cancun. I'm assuming that you're saying you're going pretty soon.
Yes, I'm going to Cancun next month for 8 days.
Perfect, perfect. All right, guys, we're gonna start in 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes. Please ask questions. Make sure that you understand these props. You need to understand, don't just go and vote meeny, miny, mo, and yep, it looks good.
Okay.
You're right. It's important.
No politics in this call, okay? I respect everybody. We have 1 minute. We're gonna start in 1 more minute.
Hey, how are you today?
Same, getting old. Every day I'm getting old and old. Older.
Nice to see you. How are you feeling?
I'm sorry?
It's nice to see you. How are you feeling?
Pretty much back to normal. I'm on a diet. They put me on this green diet and I have to eat healthy now. Otherwise, I need to find a lawyer because my wife will divorce me. So it's cheaper to go on a diet. Guys,
Yeah.
we have 1 more minute. 1 more minute to start.
One person on a relationship goes on the diet, the other person's got to follow with them.
Oh,
I
my
am
wife,
coming
my
to
wife
you-
needs a diet, but she needs to put some weight.
Oh,
My wife is skinny. I'm the
Yeah.
one who eats for the family.
yeah, I've learned you don't talk about weight with your wife. Are you crazy?
You're right.
Might explain a lot, you know. I am calling you today from sunny San Francisco Bay Area today.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Be
nice
there.
to be back in the comfortable weather.
All right, Tony, ready to start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Like always, thank you for joining us on Title Tuesday. I'd like to start off by just going over some ground rules as always. All questions are to be entered into the chat. Questions will be asked throughout the presentation on your behalf. Please make sure your device is muted at all times. If you have any question that is not asked or answered, you will be given the speaker's contact info so you can contact them directly. Thank you to all our PCT reps from LA, the Inland Empire, Orange County, Ventura, Oxnard, and San Diego for being a part of the Title Tuesday and inviting your clients. Anyone who would like a copy of this presentation, please enter it into the chat with the following: your name, email, phone number, and Pacific Coast Title rep. Lastly, please look out for our next Title Tuesday via email or social media. With that said, I'd like to introduce Sibeli with Pacific Coast Title, who's going to go ahead and introduce our speaker today.
Hi, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great day. I'm Sibeli. I work in the Ventura, Oxnard area for Pacific Coast. And I'd like to introduce our guest speaker today, Christy Hayek. And Christy Hayek worked in DC for over 6 years as a legislative aide on Capitol Hill and covered housing policies. She subsequently moved to New York City in 2016 to work in government relations / public advocacy sector for Association of Songwriter, Composers, Authors, and Publishers. That's exciting. Until decided to come back to the West Coast in December of 2019 and joining CAR shortly thereafter. So welcome, Christy. We're excited to hear what you have to say on Prop-19. So go ahead and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Sibeli, and thank you, Tony. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you today as we ramp up to our elections in November. As you all are aware, CAR has submitted Proposition 19 for the ballot. So I'm here to kind of give you guys a little bit more information about it. I have a PowerPoint I'm going to share. Just to reiterate what they have said, I will be sending around my email in the chat after this is over, and we can circulate the PowerPoint. So you will have this information after. And again, I ask, please hold all of your questions till after the presentation. That way we can get through it. And then I will promise you, we will open the floor for discussion because I am sure many of you are going to have questions about this. So without further ado, I'm going to throw this up there. And we can all see that, right? Good. So again, hi, Proposition 19, the Home Protection for Seniors, Severely Disabled Families, and Victims of Wildfire and Natural Disaster Act. It's a little bit of a tongue twister there, so Proposition 19, it works fine. There are two parts of the proposition that you should be aware of. There is the property tax-based portability part and the intergenerational transfer reform. So to go over both of those, the portability part of the proposition strengthen and expands Proposition 13 tax savings by now allowing seniors over 55 and older, severely disabled, and victims of natural disaster and wildfire to port their tax rate to anywhere they want in the state of California. As current law stands, only 10 counties participate in this. And you have to, the house has to be of equal or lesser value of what you are porting your rate at. So what we are doing here is expanding it to more people anywhere in California, so any county, and it could be of equal or lesser value or of more value at a sliding scale. So if you decide that you want to sell your $1 million home and port your rate over to a 1.5, you can take that $1 million tax rate and then you would pay the difference on the $500,000. Excuse me, we believe this is very important given what's happening with the wildfires in California this summer. This is going to open up a lot of potential home buyers and people who are going to want to move to areas that may be more expensive. The intergenerational transfer part is going to change how current law stands with the intergenerational transfer. As it is currently, when a parent or grandparent dies, the child or grandchild can take the property of all of inherited property, and they keep the tax rate on everything as it stands. Proposition 19 is going to protect the primary residence, but everything else is going to be reassessed at the current market rate. Now, the reason we did this is because the legislature back in 2017 was doing a budget analysis, and they realized how much money they were losing on the intergenerational transfer. So there have been talks for a long time that they are going to get rid of it completely. And so anything that you inherit will be reassessed at the current market value. This is where CAR stepped in and said, okay, we know that this is on the chopping block. We're aware that this is going to be an issue. So how do we save at least parts of it that are important to us? And so that's where that part of that primary residence came from, especially now with the COVID-19 crisis and the new legislature coming in January. The state of California is going to be looking for ways to make money. And this is a big place. It's a big chunk of money that they make. So with our proposition, we came to an agreement with the legislature back in end of June, early July, a constitutional amendment, quote unquote, which we'll talk about in the next slide, that stated that the money that we will be making off of the reassessed tax rate on the properties that these children or grandchildren inherit, we're going to dedicate it to specific funds. So it's going to go to, and I'll show that in the next slide, fire funding, family farms, and county offsets. So we understand that, we are giving a little bit and taking, but we think it's important that we are now controlling the narrative of at least where this taxpayer money is going with this. So like I said, just to kind of go over this again, the tax portability part of it, and then the intergenerational transfer, we're protecting at least the primary residence of that. And because of that, we will be able to support fire emergency response, tax relief for California farms, and hundreds of millions of dollars for the school district. I have been getting questions about, well, what is the difference? They want to see what happened with our original ballot initiative that we had gotten 1.5 million signatures on, and the agreement that we came up with in the legislature in the end of June. So here's my little slide that I made. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse, but the big difference here that you can see is the business and commercial reassessment. So that's the split roll. We took it out completely from our ballot initiative. It is on the November ballot. It is Proposition 15. CAR has not taken a stance on Prop 15. We are told that the board is meeting in October to take a stance on that. I'm 90% positive we're going to be opposed, but a lot of my local associations are already opposed and are taking steps to advocate for that. So if we have any more questions about that or want to get involved, let me know. And then like I had mentioned before, what we did is we created those other funds. So we created the family farm benefit, the funding for fire protection underfunded districts, and the offset for counties. So some of that money that we make is going to go back to the counties that would lose money with the portability, and that's going to kind of, you know, help cushion them a little bit from this. Talk about a little bit about polling. We are still seeing very, very, very high polling rates for this. We are feeling very confident about this in November. Still seeing about after the negative messages and all of that, we're still seeing about a 52% a positive rate on this. Luckily, because we have broad support across the state, excuse me. Because of our constitutional amendment, we got Republican and Democratic elected officials on board. It seems to be a very, very highly agreed to bipartisan agreement. And because of what we did to dedicate the the extra income, taxpayer income, we got support from the agriculture sector. The California professional firefighters are on board with this. They're really supportive of this. And schools, cities, and counties think that this extra revenue is going to be fantastic for emergency services, industry associations, and we're feeling very confident about this in November. So this is our TV ad that we're running. I'm not going to play it now for sake of time, but I will send this PowerPoint around. So feel free to click and you can watch what we are putting on TV right now. And just to kind of talk about how you can get involved if you are interested and get more information, we just created a microsite and you can sign up with us. I'm hosting, like I said, online and Zoom sessions to help educate. If you have a group of clients, brokers, agents, realtors, anyone that you think would be interested in this, I'm happy to also do this for anybody. Feel free to reach out to me. We are doing a social media campaign as well, and we're starting to ramp that up on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. We've got a lot of content that we've made if you're interested in sharing, and we're looking for stories. So if you think that there's someone out there that could be positively affected or would really need the help from Prop-19, please also be in touch with me and we could talk about that. I'd love to hear actual personal stories, and I think it's important as to why we're doing this. And then that's our little QR code. We've got a Facebook group if you would like to join, or if you have more questions or want to talk to others who are a yes on 19, you could scan that cute little QR code and it'll take you right to it. And then this is our social media links, which again, I will send around, and then a couple toolkits, but we don't have to get into that now. That being said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I want to get into any of the questions that you guys have. So go for it. You can either raise your hand. I don't know if you can raise your hand in this one, or drop it in the chat and I'll get to you, or we can kind of talk openly depending on how you guys feel about that.
Is this going to replace Prop 60 and 90?
No, it's going to tweak some parts of it.
Hi, Christy. There was a question in the chat from Peter Juan. He says, this was on the ballot in 2018 as Prop 5. What is the difference?
So I have a list actually that I will send around, but the biggest difference that happened for this is
We lost Christy?
We lost her.
I don't think she liked that question.
Give me.
Proposition 5 was rejected in 2017 by a rather large margin.
It was rejected.
Let's see if she comes back on.
She'll be back.
Give me 1 second, guys. Any good jokes? Too bad that Lou Morelli's not on the call. Lou Morelli's the one who can give us the jokes. Oh boy. All right. Let's start with the second portion. I'm gonna wait for her to try to log in again. Felicia Pantoja is gonna show us the new dashboard for the title profile account. Felicia, can you take the screen, please?
Yeah, let me go.
And I'm gonna have to interrupt you as soon as she gets back, okay?
Okay, not a problem. Let me try to share my screen. Okay, can everybody see my screen now?
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So,
Stop it. Christy's back, sorry.
okay. Okay, you have it.
Christy?
Hi, I'm so sorry about that. It just kicked me out of the Zoom. Where were we? Sorry.
What was the question?
Difference between Prop 5
Prop
and
5. Okay, so Prop 5 would have allowed home buyers who are age 55 or older or severely disabled to transfer their tax rate to anywhere. So it's very similar, but it was a little bit, it wasn't as extensive as Prop 19 is now. So it was voted down during that time. But we think because of the agreement that we've come up with the intergenerational transfer, everyone's feeling a little bit more confident about Prop 19 because it kind of offsets the portability part of it.
So there's some stipulations on your new intergenerational transfer that parent to child transfer, that child or grandchild needs to occupy that property within 1 year.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
What
And
happens if they don't?
they don't qualify for to keep that market rate. It'll just get reassessed. And the way that they are kind of, I don't want to say this, keeping tabs on it, for lack of a better word, is through your tax returns. So whatever address you're putting on those returns is how they're making sure that you're actually living in the residence and claiming that tax rate.
It seems to me that there's a big, I don't want to say discrepancy, but there's a big give and take on this, that we're going to get portability, but we're going to give up parent to child. Not sure if it's worth it or not. Is there any numbers out there or any percentages that show how much change would that would have effect on?
Yes, I actually have a great budget analysis on this that I will send around. But what it's going to do, the portability, what it's going to do for the market and the tens of thousands of homes it's going to open up to immediately is going to far outweigh the assessment on the non-primary residences that the child or grandchild would inherit if they were to inherit 2, 3, or 4 more properties. So that revenue coming from there, plus the market's availability and for victims of wildfires, severely disabled and seniors, far outweighs what that small percent of those individuals would be giving up. So it's not ideal, I understand that, but it is the best case scenario for what we're dealing with right now, especially with the COVID-19 crisis.
Christy, hi, this is Anthony. I'm a CAR director, and I thought I heard at the last meetings that we had that their estimate was that it would free up about 30,000 transactions a year, which is huge. Is that right still?
Correct, yes. I said tens of thousands because I wasn't sure of the exact number, but thank you so much for clarifying.
So when you say free up, are you saying create?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people who just aren't able to move right now because they're not able to afford the property tax base of their new home. So their estimate is that this will allow them to move, either to a smaller home or another area to be closer to their kids or whatever it is. But it's definitely going to allow them a lot more transactions to happen.
Yeah, and that's just the assessment now, the 30,000 that we have had from the past. This doesn't include, the victims of wildfire during this summer season. So I expect it to be a larger number too.
Was there any thought of ever putting a proposition together just for victims of wildfire and people that have been affected by those type of natural occurrences?
Historically, I'm not sure about the past on that. I could look into it, but I think that the agreement had to give and someone had to take for this to happen.
Right.
It's my understanding.
Christy, you're doing a great job, and not to say anything negative. I tuned into this because I'm a no on 19 guy. And so I wanted to see the pro side of it, and you've given me some ideas to think about. I'm a member of the Paston Association of Realtors. We've endorsed Proposition 19. CAR has endorsed Proposition 19. I'm still not quite on board yet. And I've got a lot of investment clients and elderly clients that definitely do benefit from parent to child transfers. And that's why I really kind of tuned in today to kind of listen to see what the pros are on Prop 19. So thank you for sharing.
Well, thanks. You make my job more fun, actually.
Well, you made my decision hard.
Well, I'm going to make it a lot harder for you. Ready? I'm going to emphasize again.
Wait, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry for doing this. And I missed this in the front, and I'm not sure if you're employed by CAR or if you're working for Yes on 19. Can you?
Oh, I'm employed by CAR. I'm the government relations rep. Yeah.
Okay,
So I work for CAR. Yeah. Yeah. Just
all right, thank you.
Full disclaimer here, guys. I am definitely part of the bad guys. With the new legislature coming in 2020, we may not have the same relationships with the new guys that are coming in, new guys and girls that are coming in. They might not be so inclined to work with CAR in January. And when they look at the budget and realize, which by the way, we are now projected to be in a deficit until 2022. When they look at the budget and realize, oh my gosh, we need to make money, we need to make money fast, one of the first things that's going to go is the intergenerational transfer. And that's just the reality that CAR knows that we're faced with. And this was our best case scenario of protecting what we could before we lose all of it. And I would say that rate or that chance would have been lesser or if it wasn't for the COVID-19 crisis, but this has really ramped up what they're looking at to do. So again, I wish that we could have done something better to protect all of it, but you know, those freshman legislators are not going to care about us. And that's just the reality of it right now.
We just can't let them in the office. We need to vote people in that are more real estate protective and incentivize them in a way that
absolutely. Hey, we intend. I fully intend to build these relationships. Trust me, this is my job. But I have no promises. So this is my promise: is if we pass Prop-19, we can at least protect some parts of the intergenerational transfer and get people who are struggling right now into homes that they need. So that's my spiel for you.
Christy, I have a couple more questions in the chat room. So
Yes.
one of them from Lisa, she says, with the generational transfer, will the property taxes increase immediately for folks who already inherited property, or will their current tax rate be grandfathered in?
Current will be grandfathered in. This only affects everything post. So it actually goes into effect in April of 2021, if that were the case.
Okay.
Can I piggyback on that just real quick? Is that also if it's not their primary residence? So would that be grandfathered in also?
So, okay, play a scenario out with me so I understand exactly.
So someone inherited a property, but they're renting it out instead. They inherited it last year, but they're renting it out. It's not their primary residence.
They will be unaffected.
Because it's
already a done deal.
To April 2021.
Correct.
Okay, good.
It's already done, sold, delivered. You know, they're renting it out. Whatever happened prior happened prior.
Their taxes won't be reassessed.
Mm-mm.
Okay, thank you.
That would be a nightmare if we had to go back and try and figure out how many properties in California were inherited and reassess everyone, I think.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have another question. Will you be able to purchase a property at a higher price point?
For the portability, yes.
Okay.
And they will do it on a sliding scale now. So you can do equal, lesser, or of a higher value. You're just gonna have to pay the difference. I did forget to mention that the portability is usually only one time. In California, we will be making it up to 3 times now. So you can port your tax rate 3 times.
Okay. And I think one last question is from Anthony. 15 was a I think it's more of a statement. 15 was a financial loss for the state. 19 is a gain for the state.
15 was as in this
Like,
Prop
I think
15?
he's talking
Or?
about Prop 15. Like,
Cool. Yep. We're not going to touch Prop 15. So understood.
I think those are all okay, one more question. So would the reassessment take place on non-primary residents only if a person passes away after the 2021 date?
Correct, sort of. The property needs to be inherited after 2021. So depending on circumstances, let's say the person passes away, but property gets divvied up, unfortunately, later after 2021, then yes, they will get reassessed after that tax year.
Okay. And then one last question. What is the CAR position on Prop 15?
We don't have one yet because our board hasn't met. I know. It's kind of counterintuitive because, mail-in ballots have already been sent out at this point. But a lot of local associations are opposed. I predict CAR will come out as opposed. I've been helping my associations be opposed. That's all I can say.
Great.
Christy,
I like you're running for office.
Can you tell us a little bit about little update on AB 3088?
Yes. So everyone knows the eviction moratorium. You have to prove a hardship with your landlord. You have to pay at least 25%. Expires in January. The CDC and the Trump administration had also released guidelines stating that that eviction moratorium will be extended till January, but that does not preclude any stronger eviction moratorium bills that have passed. So California's will still be upheld. So you will still have to pay 25%, and you still have to prove to your landlord the COVID hardship. So as of right now, it is going to be good to go until January. I think the hope is with the legislature that they, a new group of faces comes in January and figures this out, and they're waiting to see what happens with the federal administration. So hopefully if it flips, there will be some relief that comes, or hopefully the Trump administration will provide relief from the federal down to the state. All right, is that it?
It looks like it. Anybody else have any other questions?
We lost her?
I think we lost her again.
All right, Felicia, take it, please. Take it. Show us the new title profile account. It's going to be real fast.
Let me go ahead and share my screen once again. And
so you guys wake up to a new title account. By the way, all title companies, we use the same company. It's called Black Knight. This is coming from Black Knight. So you all have a new account. It's the different color, different style, but it's the same idea and same, little confusing. I'm not gonna deny it. So Felicia, show us what we can do with the new account.
so it has a new interface. So to search for property reports, property profiles, you're gonna go ahead and click on reports. And then from here, there's several different ways to search for a property. If you have the mailing address, an APN, an intersection, owner's name, but we're just gonna do basic property address. And actually, just so you guys know too, if you guys don't actually have the house number, or if you guys didn't get the house number, you're able to actually search with just a street name and putting in the city.
That's if you know the owner's name, right?
If you know the owner's name too, correct. And California, I will just search. You can alphabetize the last name and go ahead and search for the owner. You can go ahead and change how many records you want per page. So you can go ahead and scroll a bit faster and just hit the side to go to the next one and to the next one and so forth. So let's see, we're gonna go ahead and go here. And here you can actually go ahead and see what profiles you're gonna want. You can have the lender profile, the property profile. Lender profile gives you more loan information, which is pretty cool. You can go ahead and click this arrow for comparables report and actually change the report. So if you only want the last 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, however you decide, you can change it, the radius. So you can go ahead and, make it to you how it best fits your needs. So here we go.
Right, that's where you change your filters.
Yes. So, oops. Okay, get now. So it's going to generate my comparable report. And it takes a minute. Okay, so, oh, look, they changed the cover. I like it. So actually, this is a property profile, property details information. So it's basic, it's the same information, actually a little bit more information than normal. let's see. So here it actually even like it tells you who the loan officer is, a broker. So that's new. We didn't have that before. So I think that's really cool.
And all the documents are hyperlinked, right?
Correct. If you want to see a document, you can go ahead and click on the document, get now. And it's going to go ahead and send it over to me or pull it up. There it goes.
That's your doc.
And here is the document.
So you guys have access to all docs. They're hyperlinked. You have access now to lenders' profiles. Tells you who's the lender, and it gives you more information about the loan. And also, if you want to pull all documents, you click on documents on the left.
Correct.
And you can click docs.
And you can go ahead and pick which documents you want, which ones you don't.
Sorry, guys. Christy's not back. So I think she's having issues with her internet. I'm assuming that's a problem. Continue. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. I wouldn't really pay attention to the document section. You actually need the document number, the day, the month, and the year. So it's, I mean, unless you had all that information, then you can go ahead and pull the doc. You can go ahead and go to list though, and list is basically a farm. So we can go ahead and search for a city. So let's do Long Beach. And I apologize because I actually don't have any more credits. Why am I missing this?
Remind me to give you more credits.
Okay. So you just add it, it counts. That's doing Orange County part, but we want Los Angeles, sorry. My computer's running a little slow. And there it is, Los Angeles County.
Got it.
Oh, nope, it didn't get it.
Just put another city.
Okay, let's just do Pico Rivera. I don't think there's very many of those. Okay, there we go. Add. So it's going to give you the count of how many records are there. And then from there, you can go ahead and go to property. Say you were doing an absentee farm, you can go ahead and add that. So it brings it down, and it's pretty much the...
Can you just go back to absentee owners? Okay, guys, you see out of state? That's a perfect farming for this type of market that we're living. Out of state, you can request people that they live out of state, that the tenants are not paying the rent. They're sick and tired of this property here in California. That's one of the best farmings you can get right now. It's a lot of business on out of state farming, absentee owners.
Correct.
Any
And then
question?
you can just go ahead and anything else that you want in your farm, if you want specific bathrooms, you just go ahead and filter it out and it'll count the numbers. And then after you can go ahead and save it. Now, when you go to your history card, your farm will be here. And give it a minute.
Can you save this on a CSV file?
You
Excel?
can. So if you've saved it into PDF, you can go ahead and change it again into CSV. Or if you saved it into CSV and you actually want a PDF version now, you can go ahead and go download it. And your farm report should be there.
And guys, you want to save it as a CSV file, and you want to know the guy on this call by the name of Javier Munoz. Because Javier Munoz from Down Exterminators can transfer that CSV file into cell numbers and emails. For us title companies, it's illegal to do that, but Javier Munoz can help you doing that.
Correct. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty basic. It's not very more complicated than what it used to be, but there are some changes that can cause some confusion. Keep in mind that the farm is saved for 180 days, your profile's for 60 days, 90 days, 90 days. And then after, your documents are only available till the next business day. Or I'm sorry, your profiles are only 30 days.
Make sure you download everything so you don't need to worry to go back up to the dashboard. That's the best thing to do.
Correct.
I
And
apologize for Christy. She was gonna do some other portion, but I don't think she's back. So I'm assuming that she's having some internet problems. Javier Munoz, you wanna give us an update on the termite business?
Yes, Jorge, how are you? You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. Well, what I've been sharing this week with my agents, clients, is that on your listings, I highly recommend you order the termite report, because the buyers, you let them do it as a part of the inspection. They're showing up to the inspections and trying to influence the inspector to put, make the property look as bad as possible. And they're using that report to negotiate or to get a credit back. I just don't think it's fair. We've had some buyers try to influence us, and that's not the way we work. We've been around for 16 years. We do over 500 jobs a year. And the only way you can stay in business by being as honest as possible you can. So on your next termite request, Downey Exterminators, I have a banner back here. It's downeyexterminators@gmail.com, downeyexterminators.com if you want to see before and after pictures, a little buyer and a company. And the telephone number is 562-401-5000. And I hope you guys get to enjoy some of the tools I'm able to provide for you guys. And thank you so much, Pacific Coast Title, for your influence.
Do you have any lenders on this call? Any lenders on the call who can give us an update about the rates? What's going on the lending business, the lending world? Nobody? All right, guys. Well, we're gonna have to cut it short. I apologize in advance. This Thursday, we have a foreclosure, pre-foreclosure training at 1 p.m. Thursday at 1 p.m. That's a huge market that it's approaching. And I keep getting phone calls or emails from people asking me about short sales, short sales, short sales. The first and second wave, there's not gonna be any short sales. There's not gonna be short sales. Don't waste your time looking for short sales because there's not gonna be any short sales. Maybe in the third wave, there's gonna be some short sales, but right now, we're gonna get December 31st is the moratorium is gonna expire. We're gonna get a big wave of NODs and trustee sales with equity. So it's key for you guys to understand that. It's key for you guys to understand the LTV. So make sure that you tune in for that training. It's Thursday at 1 p.m. Any questions about the new dashboard, about the trainings that we're having on Thursday? No questions? We're cool, we're good. And again, I apologize. I don't know what happened to Christy.
Jorge, she sent me a message saying that she just wasn't able to log back in, but she did send the presentation, so I just forwarded it to you.
All right, guys. That's one thing that I hate about this pandemic. Not able to see you guys face to face, going to your office and talk to you about this type of trainings. But I guess we have to work with what we have. So I apologize for Christy. Yes?
Jorge Sibeli, is there a chance to possibly put Christy's part of her contact that's appropriate for some? I'm being asked if we can offer her information.
Yeah, I'll put the email on the chat right now. She did say I can post her email address.
Thank you.
I'll do that right now. One second.
Thank you.
Copy it. And then we can send out the presentation through email. So whoever puts in their address, we can send the presentation.
Yes, we're gonna send the presentation and we're gonna be posting and emailing the link for this training on Thursday. We're waiting for our speaker to confirm on next Tuesday. So your title rep is gonna send you information about that training. Thank you so much, guys. Sorry it was a short training today, short presentation. There was a few more props that she was gonna talk. And she's pretty good because she's pretty honest. She's gonna tell you the way it is. I mean, she's honest. We're losing part of what we have, but we're gonna gain some other stuff. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jorge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jorge.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good work, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jorge. I see that you're doing well. I'm very happy for you. Take care.
Good job, Sibeli.
Javier.
Jorgito.
Yes, sir.
¿Qué pasó, Jorgito?
Nada.
How are you feeling today? Good? Everything good?
Yeah, I'm pretty much back to normal. I feel pretty strong again.
A little cafecito later?
Yeah, I'm here at the office. You know, Porto's open.
Oh, really? The whole entire store?
No, you cannot go inside, but through the outside you can order and they give you the beeper.
Thank you, Jorge Mesa.
Thank you so much.
It's me, Sandy.
Hey, Sandy, how are you?
Good, and you?
Bien. Sandy,
Thank you for everything, okay?
Gracias a ti. Flor, te llamo en un minuto, estoy terminando el Zoom call. Flor? Hello?
Hi, Debbie, are you there? Call me on my cell. I'm here at the office, 562-254.
Yo quiero un café chiquito también.
Oh, please stop by my office. I have a perfect,
254-0482.
I have a perfect espresso machine here.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Qué bueno, qué bueno.
Hello?
Ok, nos vemos después.
Hello? Hola?